I, 26, have been with my fiance Chris, 26, for 4 years now. He and his sister, 21, Lilac, are very close. They had a pretty traumatic childhood and always promised each other to be there no matter what. Lilac is a good sister to him, but as a person, truthfully, I can't stand her. She is literally the textbook definition of a bubbly blonde. She is overly charismatic, always giggling, and in general, just acts too immature for my taste. She likes to pull pranks every once in a while on my fiance and he gets her back, but the whole ordeal just seems childish and obnoxious to me. Ever since we got engaged, I knew I didn't want her in my wedding party because that means I'd have to spend time with her at my bachelorette and other parties. Fast forward to last night and my fiance asks me when I plan on asking Lilac to be a bridesmaid. I got quiet and truthfully said I didn't plan on doing so. This upset him because he said wants his sister to be a part of the most important day of his life and that if I didn't do it he was going to make her a groomswoman to make sure she is included. I can't lie, this set me off. I went off about how I want to feel respected by him and be able to enjoy my wedding day. He said he also wants to enjoy his day, which to be fair, I understand. This is where I may be the idiot. I told him that I have always disliked his sister and wished he would just not include her for once on a day that isn't even about her. He got quiet and went into our guest room to be alone. A couple of minutes later I got a text from Lilac that she completely respects my decision to not want her in the wedding party, but she's hurt to know what I actually feel about her. I didn't want her to find out at all and now has told his whole family about our argument. Half of them are attacking me and half of them are saying it's my day so I should be able to enjoy it. Honestly, this whole ordeal is stressful for no reason because Lilac isn't even upset. I don't want her in my wedding party yet the whole family is upset and my fiancé has been very short with me all day. Am I the idiot? Edit. Just because I hate her personality doesn't mean I'm mean to her. Being around her drains my social battery, but I have never been mean to her nor did I want her to find out ever, especially in this way. I am just super introverted and our personalities collide. I don't want her at my bachelorette party because I want to enjoy it fully and not feel anxious the whole time because the personification of a human firecracker is attending. You are the idiot and sound jealous of their relationship. It's not just your wedding, it's his wedding too, and if you don't want her as a bridesmaid then fine, but it's unfair for you to dictate that he can't have her on his side and blow up at him for wanting to include her. Lots of selfishness on your end. That's not a great way to start a marriage. It's not even like she's a major drama. You just find her too giggly and obnoxious. You have every right to not ask her to be a bridesmaid. You don't have the right to tell your FH she can't be a groomswoman. That's just being petty. If their history is as traumatic as you say it is, have you stopped to consider her personality is a result of the trauma as a way of coping? I suggest you think long and hard if this is the hill you're going to die on, because honestly, you might not enjoy the outcome. So let's get this straight, then. You don't like her because she's blonde, young, and cheerful. You feel this dislike is strong enough, and justifiable enough, to push her out of having any significant part in the proceedings, knowing how close she is to your fiancé. It just reads as selfish and inconsiderate that you try and torture a relationship with a close member of your soon-to-be husband's family over essentially nothing does not bode well, to put it mildly. Get over whatever it is you have against blondes, 21-year-olds, and people who enjoy life. You are the idiot. I, 22, recently moved in with my mum after I left a terrible relationship. It's temporary, probably 6 months while I get my finances sorted. I work 60 hours a week and am also in school. My older brother, 26, has lived with my mum for 3 years with his girlfriend and 1-year-old baby. They do not work. My mum pays for everything. I have type 1 diabetes and am gluten intolerant. I have a labeled, special basket of food in the pantry that has GF stuff in it. GF food is significantly more expensive. And then in my room I keep juice boxes and other emergency snacks for low blood sugar episodes. My mum asked that I put a few of my low blood sugar snacks in the basket in the pantry, so in case of emergency she can get one for me as she'll know where it is. Last night I got home from my shift around 8 p.m. I went on a quick run and then when I got home my sensors started going off indicating I had very low blood sugar. It was at 38 and dropping. I felt very ill and lightheaded, and my mom went into the pantry to get me something to help. But all my stuff was gone. The entire basket was empty. My mum asked if someone had moved my stuff, and my brother said his baby was hungry and really wanted my food, so he gave it to him. Luckily my sister, 13, had been paranoid and decided to keep some of my snacks in her room as well in case I ran out, and she quickly got me a juice box and snack. I snapped at my brother and said that there were a million more snacks he could have given the baby, but my brother said that my health isn't more important than his child. My mum says it was just a misunderstanding, but my sister is on my side and said he did it intentionally. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. It doesn't actually matter whether he did it intentionally. His intentions won't help you in the event of a low blood sugar episode. Your snacks will. He even said that your health isn't more important than his kid. So his kid, who can eat any other snack, must have your snacks, which you have set aside for medical reasons, because the baby really wanted them. They are one. They can't make decisions like that. Their parents can give them something else. Your brother is creating a false equivalency. It wasn't a comparison between the baby and your health. It was actually a comparison between his convenience and your health. It was just easier for him to take from you than to get something for his baby. And what? His baby really wanted your food. How does his baby even know about your food? Whose fault is that? How is a 1-year-old demanding your specific food? Your brother is full of caca. It's not a misunderstanding. He's an idiot and a liar and a thief. If his baby was so hungry that he had to give him your emergency food, he is doing something very wrong with that whole parenting thing. I am trying to not look at the fact that they are freeloading off your mum, because that alone makes them look pretty bad. But in any case, if he really would have had nothing else to give his child, he should have replaced what he took at the next opportunity. Your brother sounds useless and selfish. I, 42, have a son, 16. For my son's 14th birthday, me and my wife got him a husky because he liked the outdoors and he said he wanted an outdoorsy dog. My son named him Zeus. In the 2 years that we've had Zeus, my son has never taken him on a walk, pet him, or basically show him any emotion or attention. He treats him more like a random piece of house furniture than an actual dog. But in these 2 years, Zeus has gotten close with me, my wife and my other 2 children. To us he is basically family and we take care of him really well. We also pay out of our pockets for all his needs such as food, medical, etc. Here where I might be the idiot. In recent years my son lost his love for the outdoors and now he cares more about expensive shoes and video games. My son came to me and my wife and asked us if we could buy him some expensive gaming equipment, but we couldn't afford it at this time, so we said no. Last month I caught my son putting up an ad on Craigslist trying to sell Zeus so he could buy the gaming equipment. I told him he was forbidden from selling Zeus and that he couldn't. We got into a heated argument after that. A week ago my son offered to take Zeus out on a walk and I thought nothing of it until it hit me that he never has opted to do anything with Zeus. I decided to follow him from a distance and eventually after an hour of walking I caught him in a parking lot trying to sell Zeus. I told the man trying to buy Zeus that he wasn't for sale and took my son home. When we got home I took away all my son's electronics so he couldn't put up any more ads, and he told me that I'm being selfish and that Zeus is technically his dog so he can do whatever he wants with it. I haven't really talked to my son because I'm still mad because I really love Zeus. Some of my family say I'm overreacting. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. This is so chilling to hear how callous your son is. I would be wary of other emotional or behavioral signs that are troubling. A lot of psychological disorders reveal themselves around his age. Explain to your son Zeus is not an object to do whatever he wants with it. Zeus is a living creature who has become a member of the family, and any decisions regarding family are made by you and your wife as the heads of the family. I'm sorry, but if you buy a dog for a child, it's not theirs to keep unless they're moving out with it and it is agreed upon by the family. If he's put no time, effort, or money into caring for this dog, he certainly does not get to sell it, not to mention that that's probably illegal considering things like pet registration and such. Anyone who says you're overreacting is an idiot. Doesn't sound like your son would have cared who Zeus would end up with as long as he got paid. That's cruel. And Zeus is no longer your son's dog. You pay for him, you pay vet bills, He's your dog, period. Your son lost the right to this dog when he tried to sneak off and sell him. My friend and I have been really close friends for about 8 years now and even were considered best friends in high school. Having graduated and become adults now, we have lost a bit of that friendship, but we always pick up where we left off when we do see each other. We've done a lot for each other and have overall very similar tastes and so on. Fast forward to now, my friend shares the news with me that she is engaged. I'm so excited for her and I'm really happy for her future with this man. She tells me she wants my help with her wedding planning and that she finds we have very similar tastes. She says she wants me to do this as I have an eye for this type of thing and that I'm very creative. Later on, however, she says that she would love to have me as a bridesmaid but doesn't have the space for me to be in the actual wedding party. Honestly, this really hurt my feelings and I expressed this to her as I thought I would be a bridesmaid. She tells me she would try to make room for me, but I could still be part of the wedding party by helping coordinate, greet people, handing out favors, or something of the sort. I found this to be a bit insulting and told her I would think about it. This role was something I did for my cousin's weddings when I was a child, like handing out bubbles. She said she wants help picking out the bridesmaids' dresses and that I could wear a different dress in the same color to show that I was part of the wedding party. She doesn't trust her bridesmaid to plan the wedding and bridal shower for her, so she wants me to help do it. The only thing I would not be planning would be the bachelorette party. I feel like those hours be up to her bridesmaids and I don't understand why she would want me to be so involved but not actually be in the wedding party. So am I the idiot for not wanting to plan her wedding? Not the idiot. The only circumstance that would make sense from the bride's perspective is if you planned weddings already, but even then it is very weird. If you are close enough to plan her big day, you would assume you are close enough to be in the wedding party. I have come to learn through here and just in life that weddings show the unfiltered expectations of people, and sometimes that can be your final sign to let that relationship fizzle out. Sorry you are going through that. It's up to you to determine how much you invest in helping someone. That sounds like a major time commitment. Even if you were in the bridal party, it's a lot. It almost sounds like she's putting you in a wedding planner role, without the pay that goes with it. You decide how much you are available and willing to help with. Why would you do all of the work without any of the credit or perks of the position? It seems shady to me that she would ask you to still do work, but not publicly appreciate you. Sure, it could be that she made political decisions with who is in her party, but ultimately if you're such good friends and she values you, you would be up there. If she doesn't trust her bridesmaids to do the work, then she needs to do it herself. You need to step back because she's telling you she already has no intention of putting you in her wedding party. Was she giving you her answer? When we were planning our wedding, there was a clash between my mom and my wife, who already didn't get along the best, because my wife believed that as the bride, she gets to dictate a color scheme for immediate family. My mom thought she was a control freak and just made that up. Somehow she got my mom to agree to wear gold, but then something terrible started, because neither of them could figure out what gold meant. My wife thought the dresses my mom picked were too light and more of a champagne. The ones my wife was showing her were bronze and my mom refused to wear brown. I was getting annoyed, because neither of them seemed to know what gold was, and it seemed like a difficult color to begin with. Also, my mom won't shop online for anything formal or fitted, and apparently there just aren't that many gold dresses around. This led to so much tension that my mom said she wasn't coming. My wife knew I was going to my mom's house to talk to her and supported that. When I got there, my mom was serious that she wasn't coming. She wouldn't even let me in her house. I finally told my mom that she was at least partially right, and she could wear another color as long as it wasn't a dark pink color dress, Mills color, black color dress, bridesmaids, or white color dress or anything white passing. My mom agreed and wore turquoise. I was honestly hoping my wife would just be too happy to notice, but she did notice. She wasn't that upset, but did tell me what an idiot my mom is. I told her discreetly that I told her she didn't have to wear the gold as it wasn't working. She was annoyed but moved on since it was our wedding day. When we got back from the honeymoon, she told me how much it pissed her off and that I betrayed her, and now my mom is never going to respect us, because we aren't a united front. Everyone's the idiot here. Your wife is being overly controlling. As long as your mom isn't wearing a color slated for anyone else, and as long as her dress isn't disruptive, this shouldn't be an issue. Turquoise is a lovely color. But you should have addressed the issue as it was rather than appearing to pick sides behind your wife's back. You'll need to be able to work these things out if you're getting married. You are the idiot. Seriously, the drama might have been petty, but you went behind your wife's back for your wedding to say that something she very clearly wasn't okay with was okay. That's not being a teammate. That's not being a partner. That's going against your wife's wishes on what should be one of the happiest days of your lives. This tells me you're incapable of having a constructive and rational discourse with your wife. So, not only did you tell your mom that she could wear a different color, but you did so without telling your wife. You are the idiot, because you should have told your wife immediately that you rescinded the color requirement for your mom. Instead, you let your mother look like the villain to your wife on your wedding day, which is definitely not helping the relationship between them. Basically throwing your mom under the bus because you couldn't stand up to your wife before the wedding. Not cool.